Y'all welcome Keith Kalfas.
Oh yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. How's everybody doing? Yeah. Thank you. The thing about live events, I try to tell guys all the time, I get emails and messages, and they're like, I don't know if I can make it, I'm busy, I'm working, or sometimes maybe a guy's just getting started and he doesn't even have the money, and I was like, dude, you have to get to these live events because the networking and the conversations that you have with guys one-on-one who are enduring the same struggles, the same things that you're going through, the same conversations, one epiphany, one aha is sometimes all it takes to give you the courage and the inspiration to take your business and your life to the next level. I know I've gone through tons of struggle, tons of chaos, tons of self-limiting beliefs and moments in my life and my business, and I've got a long way to go. So I'm super thankful for being up here. And today I want to talk about the 7 steps to marketing your business, how to get better at marketing. And what is that noise? Hey, was that on TikTok? I'm sorry, I heard there's this funny thing on TikTok and somebody's playing it right now. My wife was laughing about this last night, and I'm like, what the hell is that? If you can hear that, I don't want to repeat the cuss words, but they put a Chinese finger trap on their grandma, and the grandma's like, what is this? He's like, put your fingers in it, Grandma, you'll find out. And then she's screaming and cussing, and it's got like millions of views. It's sad. So what I want to talk about is you have to stop trying to do everything yourself. And being self-employed and being a small business owner, you can become a control freak because you can see directly what happens if you try to deviate from the plan or delegate to somebody else, and this is specifically about marketing, but when you try to delegate to somebody else and you see them mess it up, you instantly feel it's like the part of your brain that's connected to survival takes over, and now you feel like, oh my God, I'm losing money. Oh my God, I don't have time for this. Step aside, I'm going to do this myself. I'm going to figure it out myself. Is anybody here, when you're working, you're on job sites, you're delegating to your employees, have you had the feeling like when I get home tonight or Saturday, I'm going to buckle down and I'm going to do this thing, and then when you get home, your willpower is completely spent. You're out of willpower, and you don't get around to doing the thing, and it's a vicious cycle. Raise your hands. So the vicious cycle is the thing, it's the part of our brains that's lying. We're lying to ourselves. I won't say the F-bomb, but I would say we're bullshitting ourselves. And how long do we have to go through this before we start to learn the skills and stop trying to do this yourself? So we're going to talk about how to build your marketing team. I believe all marketing should be self-taught. You should learn how to market your own business yourself so you can identify what's working and what's not. We all have these companies calling us every day, talking about how they can get our business to page 1 of Google. These sales calls, it's fine. Home Advisor, Angie's List, all of them. Yelp, oh my God. Anybody get a lot of calls from Yelp? Just the persistency, and I'm not saying that this stuff doesn't work, but it's important to bring this stuff in-house. And we bring it in-house virtually now, so you can identify what's working, what's not, and you can call people out on their BS, and you can inspect what you expect to make sure that if you spend your money, that it's going to go in the right place. There's a saying that I love, inspect what you expect. So if you want other people to do their jobs, you have to follow up with them and understand what's going on to make sure they do it right, or you'll get passed aside. So who here would consider themselves an expert at marketing their business? Raise your hand. Who here knows just enough to keep the jobs rolling in? All right, who here doesn't really know much about marketing and you want to learn it? Okay, marketing it's a very, very, very deep topic, and the frustrations that I have is the deeper that I get into this, because we have a media business now, it's so deep you can't learn it all in even a year. So at some point you're going to have to rely on other people to delegate this stuff, and so you can get it done and become an effective executive at marketing your business. So I'm Keith Kalfas. That's my wife right there, our little dogs. If you've seen us on social media, I love my wife, I love our dogs. I built a brand called the Landscaping Employee Trap on YouTube, where we talk about how to start a small business from nothing. Who here was trapped? Is anybody here is anybody here that was trapped in a 9-to-5 job that they hated, and they felt desperate, and they would do anything to get their business off the ground, and now you did it? Raise your hands. Who here has been in business less than 5 years? Raise your hand. Nice. Okay, so I talk about, and I lived out all of those struggles on camera by making these crazy ass videos where I would just have an epiphany and pull out sometimes just my cell phone and be very vulnerable and authentically talk about that struggle and that journey. It's gone on to get 20 million views online, viewed all over the world. This video specifically has prevented 2 suicides, 3 confirmed suicides in my videos, and I don't know how many countless others. When I get phone calls like that in the middle of the night, I mean, I've cried when I get these emails and calls from people saying that, you know, they pulled a gun out of their mouth because they watch my video. So that's it's a totally different level. So thank you. Yeah, I don't want to get negative or low here, but depression is very real, and suicide is very real, and it's no joke. And we all have had friends in this room, people we love, very close people, and go down that hole, overdose, all those things. So I feel a huge calling on my life to share that. So what's happened with me is I've had this big epiphany. Now finally, you know, I feel like I'm barely out of the hole myself. I don't feel successful. Sometimes people will come up to you in the room, you get this egotistical thing going, like, oh my God, am I successful now? I've cracked 6 figures. I'm actually doing it. But we're just barely out of the hole. But I talk about these things and I have these epiphanies in these videos, and I'm having this huge awakening now about a lot of these trials and tribulations and struggles. You can shortcut them. They're very important to have, but you can shortcut them by learning from the mistakes of other people. I was always the guy who, when somebody would tell me something, I didn't want to hear it because I knew for a fact what I knew was right. And I wouldn't listen. So lesson is repeated until lesson is learned. If you keep trying to get home and work on your business, if you don't have any willpower because you're maybe out in the field working, who here is in the field most of the time or 100% doing the work? Okay, that's all I need to know. You only have so much willpower in a day. So it really pisses me off when people would tell me things like growing your business and creating systems and protocols and you got to delegate. And my main problem was if I'm just starting my business, I'm in the first couple years here, and I don't even have my man-hour rate high enough to make enough profit to legitimately even hire anybody. Why are you giving me advice to hire people and do all these things when I don't even have my money right yet? I can't even afford to do this. I would get very angry because people wouldn't talk about these little chasms, right? So, what are your deepest frustrations in marketing your business? And I would say that it's actually getting it done. It's the actual execution and doing it consistently. So, I kind of want to know, like, raise a hand. What is the deepest frustration? What is it? Where to start. Where to start? That's good. That's all I needed. So wearing multiple hats exhausts your willpower. It burns you down to the ground. If you are busy selling all day, and then maybe you're in the field working, or you're communicating with clients, and then you're on the phone, and you're trying to do all these different things, and you're changing these hats. Has anybody here ever been, something is blown up in your business, and you're doing 20 things at once, you're ordering materials, you're running jobs, and then an important client calls, and you're like, Joe's Landscaping, how can I help you? And you're like dripping in sweat, and the sun's beating on you, you have grass or mulch all over you, and you're trying to do this. You have to actually get yourself in a place, if you don't have a secretary yet, or you don't have a calling center, like pink callers, where you have to get really calm and turn off the chaos and be like, Joe's Landscaping, how can I help you? Yes. And meanwhile, there's like an explosion going off. to change is that funny? You have to change all these channels, and then you're supposed to, after covering all of this territory in your business, you're on job site to job site to job site, you're operating a mower, you're telling guys what to do, you're like in freaking war, and now you have to go home and just calmly brew a cup of tea and sit there on the computer for 4 hours doing your marketing? I've tried that, and I mean, literally banged my fist on the desk. I'm yelling to my wife to come and help me. I can't figure out this stupid thing. I can't figure it out. And she's like, oh my God, you're crazy. You're going, blah, blah, blah. And we're in the house, and now it's 1 o'clock in the morning. Nothing gets done. I go to sleep, wake up, and go run my business again. So the hard thing is when you keep doing that, what happens is you can't, what we call expand the top as you dissolve the bottom. You keep continually, how are you going to raise the prices without losing your clients? Well, if you do raise the prices so you can afford to do all this stuff, you are going to lose clients. So you have to keep the hopper full with more and more and more clients. Well, how do you do that if you don't have a marketing strategy? Well, how do you market your business if you don't have a strategy because you're so busy out in the field all day running around like a chicken with your head cut off? And it's a downward spiral. So the implementation is extremely slow and painful. If you actually sit down and try to market your business versus being out in the field, dude, we did lawn care. I did lawn care for 15 years of my life. We could bang out, and there's some discrepancy. Some guys are like, I mow 60 lawns a day. Well, how many like lawns, and what is your route density? Also, we would do like 30 lawns a day. If you're covering all this territory and accomplishing, you can see it in front of your eyes. You're getting massive progress done every day. Your psychology is conditioned that you can bang shit out. Well, if you go home and you try to sit down at a computer and do your marketing, and it takes you 45 hours across 2 months just to build a website, or to put together a lawn care flyer, or to distribute something, it can feel very painful and slow. It feels like you're getting nothing done. You're like, I can't do this. I can't do this. I'm just going to go work and go make money. So there's this loss aversion that happens in your subconscious. You want to mitigate risk. You feel like you're sinking when you're sitting in front of a computer trying to implement this stuff. That's why I'm urging you to learn marketing and build a marketing team and delegate. After you keep trying, you give up. The next year comes. I know everybody here is probably in the winter, oh dog, when the winter comes, I'm going to crush it. I'm going to build all these systems, and next spring we're going to come out of the hole. What happens? The springtime comes, you're fired up, you're motivated, you're like running a million miles a minute, you're amped up, the spring is broken. Then what happens by June, July, August? You're like running out of gas. By September, you're going into like these depression cycles because you've just worked yourself into the ground for 6 months straight, and yet nothing has gotten implemented. So my main thing I want to urge and talk to you about is expand the top as you dissolve the bottom. If you have so many leads coming in and the phone is ringing so much, you've heard the saying, beggars can't be choosers. You actually put yourself into a position where now you can start to calibrate and choose which clients you want and skim the cream off the top. Dude, I've had so many clients that drove me insane, that didn't respect me. That's a whole nother story. Like, I pulled my hair out. When I was finally able to start making those phone calls and firing clients, because now I finally had the meat and potatoes and what I could choose from. I mean, we're literally charging 4 times the amount in the same neighborhoods. And how many people here do lawn care versus landscaping? Lawn care strictly, lawn care and landscaping? Okay, so you have a mix of both. Because there's a difference with lawn care with route density and higher prices versus being spread out all over the place, and then landscaping with highest ticket prices possible with highest profit margin. When you dial in on those metrics, you can start to see. So back to marketing. You're afraid of wasting money on marketing. You hear these guys brag about how they spend $5,000 or even $10,000 a month on marketing. And you're like, how do you even get yourself into a position to do that? Well, I would say a good way to start out is you can open up a separate checking account, attach to your business account, and maybe peel off 7% or even 5% or 2%. Now that's your marketing budget each month that you have to spend on marketing to get the ball rolling. And when you're spending money, people who pay attention. So now you have money allocated towards the marketing. Or if you can't afford to market your business and you're afraid of wasting money, raise the prices 10% on all your clients, or at least the ones you know you can get away with, and that becomes your marketing budget. You make your clients pay for that. So I want to fix the problem and fast forward here. How we do this is with virtual assistants. My wife and I on our team, between the landscaping and the media business, we have 6 to 7 virtual assistants working. And let's say you want to design a flyer or a postcard or something for your business that you can distribute to your local marketplace and all of those favorite subdivisions that you want to dominate and get the most work, so you can get your phone ringing off the hook. If you sit down by yourself and you try to crack open Photoshop or Illustrator or any of these programs, you could literally spend weeks trying to create something that even looks good. You have to learn an entirely different skill. I've done this. I've pulled my hair out doing this. And then what happens is you end up with something that looks okay to crappy. So, is that funny? So we are wasting all this time because we're afraid to spend money on something because we don't know what the result is. We don't know what the ROI is on that. If we go do a landscape, like I know for a fact if I charge Mrs. Jones $6,000, I can rip out her existing landscape and plant something new with mulch and beds and a little Japanese maple tree and some boxwoods and make her happy. Like I just know that because I've done it 100 times. But you can't quantify in your head, a $2,000 or $3,000 website. How is this thing going to make me money? I've gotten to a point where I know for a fact that marketing and advertising your business consistently and congruently, nonstop, is you will see effects of that 3, 6, 9, 12 months, 2 years, 5 years down the road. This is a long-term game. So imagine this is the difference between a promotion and a campaign. I hope I'm not overwhelming everybody. I'm just like, so a promotion is a one-off thing. You do a quick blast. You pass out a bunch of flyers in neighborhoods. Maybe you go on this binge where you're just putting business cards everywhere. You're calling as many people as possible. You're doing everything you can to fill the hopper full of work. That would be a promotion for like a week. But a campaign is an ongoing series of promotions. It doesn't stop. So imagine that you're marketing your business like a resounding gong that just doesn't stop. And even if you don't know how to articulate exactly how to do it, you have to do it regardless. And basically what you're doing is you want to become as highly visible as possible in your marketplace, non-stop. So you're constantly, hey, we're in business, hey, we're in business, hey, special offer, hey, non-stop. And he who makes the most noise gets the t-shirt at the rock concert. Someone's jumping up and down screaming, they'll shoot the cannon at the t-shirt, to the person. So hiring virtual assistants, we use Upwork and Fiverr. Can you write this down? I really want you to do this. It's like this is my assignment to you. Like set a budget of $100 and I want you to blow money. I want you to literally think I'm gonna waste this money. Don't expect an ROI out of this. Upwork.com and Fiverr.com, Fiverr. I'm sure a lot of us have. Has anybody heard about these websites? Okay, so there's a difference between hearing about it, going in and trying it, and then actually specifically hiring and vetting out people to help you with your marketing and following all the way through and implementing into your business. So you can hire virtual assistants anywhere from $6 to $20 an hour, and you literally website building. Web design, flyers, postcards, door hangers, anything that you need. Go through, spend money, and hire these people, and start to vet them out and see their results. Once you find the ones that you like, because we're going to find out that some of them are total liars. But once you find the ones that you like, you can start to kind of bring them into your marketing team, and then that becomes your flyer guy. That becomes the person who helps you with your website. This becomes the person who helps you with this. And now whenever you need something, you start to build this brand consistency and congruency in the way all your stuff starts to look the same. Think of a big company, you can model the big, think of a huge company, they don't even have to be landscapers in your city. You see their marketing all over the place. It's on their trucks, it's on the uniforms, it's on the website. If you go and type them in on Google, everything looks the same, and they keep plastering their stuff all over the place to the point where like it just becomes a local name in the city. So if you can do that on a small level, that's how you can start to penetrate and permeate your customers' minds. So some of them are liars, you're gonna have to go through them. We just had one just today, a couple hours ago, sent me, we're doing data mining, and the guy gave me nothing that I asked for and tried to get out of it. And so instead of getting emotionally attached to that when an employee or virtual assistant or somebody doesn't work, you just fire fast, hire slow, and just keep doing it. You get used to this process of hiring. Has anybody hired a virtual assistant before? Does anybody here who here has a website? Are you happy with your website? Keep your hand up. Okay. Who here distributes lawn care postcards or flyers? Okay. Who here has the consistency, like your business card? All your marketing and advertising is all down. You have all of it, and whenever you want to do a marketing campaign, you can literally just press a button and it's just going. Like you have it all ready to go. Okay, cool, that's good. That just means you're going to go through a lot of them. So you can hire people to do all these things, blog writers. If you want to get into SEO and marketing your business, and the underlying linchpin of this entire talk is stop doing all this, trying to do this stuff yourself. And the ROI on this is huge. You get to the point where your phone's ringing so much that you don't have to worry ever again, oh my God, like, can I raise my prices? Are we going to get enough work? Can we pull the trigger on this thing? Because marketing is the thing that allows you to just, it's almost like printing money. And let me make sure. All right, cool. 1 second. Our Facebook ads guy is in Spain. He's $25 an hour. So if we want to run Facebook ads, has anybody here tried to get into Facebook ads ever, at all? Nice, okay. So I've taken 13 Facebook ads courses. I have 3 different Facebook ads certifications, and I still barely know what the hell I'm doing, because if you want to get good at Facebook ads, a lot of people won't admit stuff like this. If you want to get good at Facebook ads, you have to be in there all the time, every single day, obsessed with everything that's going on with Facebook. That's an entire career. Building websites is an entire career. You know what I'm saying? Graphic design artists, that's an entire career. How are you going to become a master of like 12 different careers? So you just find those people and you hire those people as virtual assistants. So our Facebook ads guy's in Spain, and he's helped do 6-figure launches for some huge guru. I can't say his name. I'm like, I get this guy for 25 bucks an hour. Google ads. Our Google ads guy, he's in Greece. I can't tell you his name. If you want to run Google ads, learn all the basics of it and go out and find somebody who's an expert at that and say, okay, I'm going to allocate this much money per month. I'm going to try it. And go out and hire that person to do the Google ads for you. The better you get at delegating, and your new implementation is the delegation. You're stepping back and you're like pulling that needle out that's connected to your nervous system, that survival thing of like, I got to do it myself, I got to do it myself. You pull it out and you say, okay, I'm going to hire this person. My wife is amazing, by the way. She was saying, like, where is she at? Oh, I'm sorry, she's right there. I want to put her on the spot. Will you clap for her? That was awesome. Okay, so I'll tell you this little breakthrough that we had. And we're going to get into the implementation. I'm just trying to get all this stuff out of the way. But I was trying to tell her about virtual assistants. We're in the office working. And she's like, why would we hire somebody when I could just do it, Keith? Like, my wife is very smart. She's very articulate. She can figure stuff out. And it amazes me. So she's sitting there, and I start calculating. I'm like, oh my God. if you write all this copy and create all this for this funnel so we can market to this audience, this is going to take you like 42 hours or something. She's like, I can do it. I said, no, we're going to hire a virtual assistant to take care of this. And we like argued about this, and I just did it. I hired the virtual assistant, and I had to like pull it out of the grip of my wife's hands. And this was hard for me to learn too, but now that I get it, we hired the virtual assistant, we gave her all the information, and she turned it around in like an hour and a half. And it was $20. And I was like, what? Even I was amazed. And now my wife, our one virtual assistant, her name is, we're not live streaming, are we? Her name is Sunny Suggs. She's in Texas. She's $20 an hour. She's starting a new project for us on Friday. So my wife went from like, that's insane, why would you spend money hiring somebody when we can do it, to now she's like, Sunny Suggs is the shit. Sunny Suggs, we got it. So now she's getting good at delegating to other virtual assistants. So when a virtual assistant messes up, we have one in Minnesota right now working. What? Oklahoma. What's that noise? So she's messing up. She's not doing what we're instructing her to do, which is our responsibility and our fault. We should give her better outlined checklists of what needs to be done. You create checklists. That's a system. A checklist is the system. And she also kind of like got pissed and just fired one virtual assistant when he just got started but she was actually, it turned out she was right, by the way. I couldn't tell that this guy was being manipulative and he was lying to us about what he knew, and I was just overly trusting him. So she's very wise, but.
Well played.
What's that?
Well played. She was right. Well played.
Yeah, she was right. So, but you have to let them trip on themselves and be willing to just keep paying them until they figure it out, and keep giving them the criteria that they need. And then once they get good, they're great. Like my video editor is in Russia, and he's been editing for me for like 2 years now. So I send him all the YouTube footage on Dropbox, and he edits like about half of my videos. But it took a while to do that. So be willing to pull the trigger, throw money at hiring people to help you in your business. The big thing that used to piss me off, I would say, if I don't have the money, how in the hell am I going to hire somebody to do it? So it's like this whole catch-22 thing. Well, I got to raise the prices so I can get the money to do it. Well, if I raise the prices, then I'll lose my clients. Well, if I lose my clients, then I got to get good at marketing. So I understand the catch-22. Delegation is a skill. I was just talking about that. It's a muscle. You learn how to work it. And this is a huge thing for me. I ran around pulling my hair out for 5 years, refusing to let go of the grip that I had on my business. Silly thing I did, I named my business after my last name, which is Kalfas. Kalfas Professional Services. And I learned something when I went legit and started paying taxes and all that. So I think that the reason some of the guys name their businesses their last name is because when they start out, the customer goes, who do you want me to write the check out to? And I'm like, Kalfas. Because I can't like name a company like a big name company if it's not legit yet. So, does that make sense? All right, so 7 steps to marketing your business. The first one is Google my business. Has anybody got this? Oh, I'm so surprised. Okay, you absolutely have to do this. You have to go in your phone and download the app GMB, which is Google My Business. Like, this is detrimental. You have to do this right away. Go on your phone and download the app Google My Business. Do you have your local listing, your verified local listing? It's the little red map bubble. Raise your hand. Okay, whoever doesn't have this, you have to get this immediately. This makes you a local verified listing. So you can put your address on here. If you don't put your address on there, you can get like a P.O. box or rent out a virtual office space. Like I lease an office because I don't want my home address to be my business, but a lot of people do it anyways. The reason I don't is because I do YouTube and I don't want like people showing up at my house, but you verify your local address, you get a postcard in the mail, and now you're a verified business. So therefore, when people are looking up landscaping or lawn care services near me, if you're near them, you're going to pop up as an actual physical local business, which is so important through the eyes and perception of your customers, has been like, okay, this is a real business. It increases the chances and likelihood that they'll hire you. So for everybody that's downloading it and everybody that already has it, this is the king of the internet. We analyze where all of our leads are coming from. So we ask every single customer, how did you hear about our business? And they tell us. Was it Google? Was it Facebook? Is it a referral? Is it a repeat customer? And well, if it's a repeat customer, we already have other data, it pops up. But so we track all this data over time, and we find out when we run the stats. I do it once a year, and I found out that 80% of all my new clients are coming from Google My Business, because the verified business listing. So how do you get to page 1 of Google, and how do you look like an expert? Is through something called social proof. That's when everybody else says that you're a good guy, or you're a good landscaper, you got to go with this company. They've been mowing my lawn for years. They did an amazing landscape for me. It was beautiful. The more people, so before people spend money, people used to just make a decision and hire somebody or call 3 contractors out for a quote, or they'd search around, but now they go into research mode. So before anybody does anything, they're going on Google, they're going on their phones, and they're looking and they're tapping on companies, and they're going right to the reviews, and they want to see what other people are saying about this company. If you're non-existent, that just destroyed your chances of your phone ringing, if that's what that customer's looking for. So it's a huge lead source and revenue source that's starved right out of your business. So you got to have that. And then as many positive reviews as possible. If the customer goes and looks and they see that like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 people are all 5 stars, 5 stars, 4 stars, 1 star, 5 stars, like when they see this, they're going, okay, if all these people in my city are saying this is a good company, I don't want to look at anybody else. I'm going to go with this company. So the guys that I know that are crushing it in their businesses are the ones who have gotten really, really, really obsessed and have built a system and a sequence around, a communication sequence around the 5-star review process, so that they can get as many positive reviews as possible to create as much social proof in the marketplace as possible. So that means you get the app on your phone, you share the app to leave you a review, and you get the link on your phone, you put it in your phone, you embed it in your emails, all over the place. When you talk to your customers, even on the phone, you say, okay, Mrs. Jones, our whole processor, our plan is to wow you, to knock your socks off so well that you want to give us a positive 5-star review on Google. When you're at the customer's property working, if you're chit-chatting with them, if you get to, ask them to leave you a well-worded review on Google and send them the link to their phone, send it to their email. When you leave the property, thank them, like genuinely thank them, and say, hey, we're a local business, we're a family-owned business, we shop at the same grocery store, our kids go to the same school. How our business survives and thrives is through positive reviews on Google. Will you take a moment to leave us a well-worded review? And you just, like we send our customers gourmet brownies, anything to get that review. Because I'm thinking of it like this now. If you leave your customer's property and you did an amazing job, but they didn't echo this into the marketplace, the world of the internet that we live in today, and the reason I have all these cameras set up, is it's almost like if you do something and it happened in an isolated state and it didn't echo off somewhere on the internet so more people could see it, it's almost as if it didn't even happen. And now all of your hard labor and work and sweat equity only happened for that one transaction. So the people that are crushing it are the ones that are creating systems, automation, and sequences around these processes so they can make everything that they do have a residual effect that keeps echoing off even after they left the property. So if you can get a positive 5-star review and be extremely intentional with every single client, think of it like it's like a golden nugget, and it is. By the time you have 30, 40, does anybody here have more than 20 positive 5-star reviews? Good job, good job. Anybody more than 50? Anybody with 10 positive reviews? Okay, good job. Once you start hitting 20, 25, 30 positive 5-star reviews, you're instantly separated as the top 1% in the marketplace as far as the millions of people going on Google, because research has shown that they're going on Google. They're in a hurry. They look, okay, what does Google say? Okay, this company, okay, there's 10 companies on the first, there's the Google 3-pack, but if they swipe through, out of like 10 companies, they'll look for those golden stars, and then they click and they go, okay, this one has positive reviews. And if they're going to spend like, if they want a long-term relationship or they're going to spend more money, they're going to start reading the reviews. If you have that positive social proof, they're going to call you. And when they call you, how you pick up the phone or the calling center that picks up the phone, that's a totally different conversation, which is very important when it comes to your marketing, which is, I'll dip into it real quick. Even the way you pick up the phone, the very tone of your voice and the intentionality of the way you position yourself, the brand of your company and how much you care about what you do, the years that you've been doing it, all that comes right through just by the tone of your voice on the phone. So if you don't sound like that, if you're not in a place of like being a servant and having gratitude, and you sound like a very professional business. I was talking to my man over here from Pink Collars earlier, and he said something that blew my mind. He said, a lot of small business owners think that they're good on the phone. I'm not putting you on blast, but in fact, we suck. And I was like, oh my God, that's crazy. I thought I was so good on the phone. So we can find somebody else if we're not good at it to do that, because even the way you like, think of a company, when you call around on the phone, you could tell by the way these people pick up the phone, oh, okay, I'm in the right place, or okay, I've reached a professional company that, like, I mean, I've called contractors before that now my wife and I, we have a home, and literally they don't pick up the phone, or I get, hello? What? And there's like a dog barking in the background. I'm like, is this so-and-so's like electrician? Let me call you right back. I'm like, I'm not calling that guy back. So professionalism, and so all the way through, all that comes all the way back to getting the positive 5-star reviews on Google. So you have to do that. I can't go much deeper into that here, but please do anything you can to get as many as you can. The people that I know that are dominating have 300, 400, 500 positive 5-star reviews on Google. We have like 93, and it's the #1 lead source in my business. That allows me to now walk onto a customer's property where I used to charge them $1,400 to trim all the shrubs and put down some mulch. Now my price is $2,000 or $2,200. This is a way higher ROI and more profit margins, because I know that my phone is ringing so much more that now I can choose because my phone is ringing. You're positioning yourself into a position to win, and also positioning yourself to your clientele that you're a professional company, and you make it almost seem like it's almost like a risk to go with somebody else. They feel this sense of trustworthiness with you. So this is a bunch of psychological stuff that is so important that some of us are missing. Google Ads, like I said, you can throw money at Google Ads all day. When we throw ads, Google Ads Express for window cleaning, our phone rings. Anything more expensive, when you get into the thousands of dollars, like our average ticket price is about $1,000 when we do landscape maintenance. It's hard the higher you go because there's more competition, and the cost per click can get up to like 30, 40, 50, 60 bucks, and you lose. So if you get into Google Ads, I'd say do research and hire somebody to help you do it. If you can't afford to do that, then stick to the free stuff like Google My Business and getting positive 5-star reviews. Do all the free stuff you can as possible and milk that for everything that it's worth before you start spending money on marketing. But I still think it's important to spend at least a couple $100 a month on marketing and advertising, so it's in your system and it's a normal thing. Branding your company. Everything that you do should have consistency and congruency. So your fonts, pick the font for your company, 1 to 2 fonts, and stick with it. It's like the way the lettering looks. Like this is a font. These are all different fonts. Look at look at this right here. This professional company, Spiker, 2 colors. I see 1 font here. That might be another font, but it's 2 colors. It's basic. If you go more than 3 colors when you're branding your company, it starts to look unprofessional. Even if your customers, when they're looking at your website, even if they can't like articulate why, they don't know why, but they just don't trust it. Something's weird. Like if you look at Skag back there, orange and black, 1 font. It jumps out at you. If there was a bunch of colors, it would be weird. So I bet you Xmark has I know for a fact, they have their fonts and their colors. They use that everywhere on everything. They're not changing it. Gravely, Jobber, same font. Anywhere that you go on the internet or any live event or anywhere on social media, when you see Jobber's logo, you know for a fact that that's Jobber. Even if you don't know what Jobber is yet, you know you've seen that logo because they're very smart and intentional about branding that. So how can you adopt that into your small scale business so you appear to be a bigger business? You have the professionalism of a bigger business by having that consistency in your branding. Price transparency. This was a huge breakthrough. Does anybody here put the price of their services directly on their website or on their social media? You do? Good. Anybody else? Good. Anybody else? Good. I was on the phone with my friend Ryan Kettering. We hired him for our live event, which is called Marketing ROI. And we paid him a couple $1,000 to print all this cool stuff for our event. And he went on my website and he's like, bro, how come you're not showing the prices for the tickets and all this stuff? And he's like a high-level marketing guy. This is what he does. This is his career. I'm like, well, I don't want to just put the price on there. I want them to read it and find out what the value is so they can maybe call or go and then find out the price. Because if they see the price, they might just run. Or they, just like in my landscaping business, I want to do $2,000 jobs. That's where our profit margin works good. But if I just put that there, it might not make sense. What's different with $2,000 jobs, you should probably put the most basic package that you have to pull them in the door. But the most important thing to remember is be transparent with your pricing. Always, always put a price, because what it does is it qualifies customers. If you have, let me check this, a price, let's just say it's $30. All of the customers that are coming, your traffic coming into your funnel, which is they're looking at it, they're on the internet, or maybe they got your flyer or your postcard, and they go, well, $30 a cut, maybe that's your minimum. Maybe you want to get 40 or 50, I don't know. All the customers who was thinking like, well, I don't want to spend more than $20 a cut, they're not going to call you. You qualified them. It's called a negative qualifier, basically. So what you did is now they're not going to call you, which is a good thing. You want the right people to call you. So everybody who's willing to pay $25 and up is going to call you if the marketing and the messaging is right and it hits them in a way that is congruent with maybe their beliefs or what they expect. So try this out. You can split test it. You have 2 pieces of marketing material. One has a price, one doesn't. The one that has a price, you're going to get a lot more consistency. You're going to get more leads coming through, or you're going to get the right leads coming through. It's one thing to have your phone ringing or tons of emails coming in through your contact form with people wanting your services, and you're saying, yes, I'll be right there. And you drive all the way to their stupid ass property and you walk the whole property with them. Oh, I've been through this forever. Walk the whole property and then you give them a price. And they're like, whoa, I didn't know it was going to be that much. Joe Blow did it for this much. Well, I've had that conversation so many times. I used to get so angry about that. And it was so hard to swallow the pill that it was my fault. How much time do I have, Jason? Am I good? Huh? Okay. And it was like, I didn't want to qualify the customer because I was so afraid of telling them, like, how do you have that conversation? Just like, well, Mrs. Jones, we have a $500 minimum or I'm not coming. I mean, customers will get mad if you say something like that. So you start having, you can do role playing with your friends who are landscapers. You can join sales groups that do this stuff, but you don't even have to have the conversation over the phone and waste your time. There's all these things that we do that is wasting so much time and frustrating us and draining our willpower, and we're not even aware that we don't even have to do a bunch of that stuff. But we do it because it makes us feel like we're working so hard, and it's just draining our lives away. So put the price transparency. I know this, anybody heard of this guy named Tigran Gertz? Yeah, you have? He's in California, he's a YouTuber, he does these massive $100,000 landscape jobs, and he brags on his videos, and the guy's really cool. But I literally went and I looked at his marketing, and I do this all the time, and I looked, he has, I think it's a Home Advisor. It literally says $25,000 minimum to work with me to do a landscape job. I was like, holy cow, $25,000 minimum. If you put that right there, the right people, even if it's $35, it doesn't matter. It's going to show that you're confident in what you do, you're confident in your pricing, you're transparent about it, and I just keep beating this like a dead horse. So make sure you put your pricing on everything so you don't waste your time or their time. It'll save your life. Call to action, which is CTA. Has anybody heard of this? You got to have the CTA. So a call to action is you're always asking your customers to pick up the phone, or call now, or click here, or here is $79 for this, or weed control that. You have to have some type of call to action or an offer for them that they have to take advantage of right now. You're building a sense of urgency into this, or this expires in 30 days. When you do things like that in your marketing, if you just leave it open, $35 for lawn care. I mean, that's cool. Some people will call, but if you put what's called a limiter in there, that means that only 100 people can get through, or it's only good until June 1st. Anything, something. Then what it does is it narrows down their focus, and they go, oh my God, there's a time limit on this. And then they get FOMO, which is like fear of missing out or something like that. They're going to be more apt to pick up the phone and call because they know that there's a limiter on that. Does that make sense? So have a special offer and a call to action, or at least tell the customer what to do. That's the one thing that we miss, is whenever we do our presentation to the customer, whether it's on the internet, if it's on our website, it could be anything, we have to tell them, okay, this is great. Maybe we're a good fit. Call now, or click here. Tell them what to do next and instruct them what to do. Be very assumptive and assertive about that. And walk them through the process, walk them through the sale, and close them down. You know, if a customer is like just wandering around, you grab them by the hand, walk them through the process, close them, sign here, and the more you're intentional about that, you become like a batter ram who just gets really, really, really focused on closing sales. I sucked at this, and I still kind of suck at it. But I'm becoming better at it, and it's getting really intentional about what the hell makes money and what doesn't. What's wasting my time and what's making money. So call to action in every way. So claim your local citations. There's more than 50, but I'm going to say, if you write this down, top 50 local citations and authority sites. When you pay some of these companies to do SEO for you to get your business to page 1 of Google, some of them have a way of doing these things in-house that if you leave them and you stop paying them, or you leave the contract, they take all of that work with them and you're left broke with nothing. So that's why I think it's important to bring it all in-house. So a lot of them are going, and they're going like Yext.com, YP, Bing, every single local place that you can possibly create a profile for your business and fill out a citation, which means it just gets indexed on Google. Is the more you're creating this spider web of interconnecting data all over the internet that's pointing back to your business and your website, the more stuff that you have on the internet that allows you to fill out, like, of course you should have a LinkedIn, a Facebook, a Google, I wouldn't say like TikTok or anything for your business, but anything that you can have that's another avenue, another lead source for a customer to find you, you should have some type of profile or at least something existent on there. I don't think it's smart to be trying to do all this at once all the time because you won't get anything done. So when you find the thing that works, for us it's Google. It's Google, walk-ups, and referrals. That's our biggest lead sources. I stopped paying attention to all the other stuff that doesn't work that well. So you do this so you can get data back to find out what's working. For you, it might be postcards in your city. For some weird reason, it works with postcards. If you haven't tried that, you don't know. But if you try it and it works, don't be like, oh, that worked. Okay, screw that. No, let's go do something else. Let's try Facebook. No. Triple down on postcards. Whatever you find that works, triple down on it so you can keep the hopper full. Okay, so I already covered that. Oh yeah, this is where all the low-hanging fruit is. It's retargeting existing clients first. So many of these people that you've done work for, maybe it's the next season rolling around. I know in lawn care you're there every week. But if you don't follow up these people and you constantly are on the top or in the back of their mind, it constantly letting them know that you thank them, you care about them, you're grateful that you've done business, and constantly putting offers in front of them to do more business, which is sending them a monthly email blast over and over and over. Sending postcards to their houses, calling them up on the phone, doing a text message blast, and I'll talk about ringless voicemail in a second, which is really powerful. But when you constantly do that, imagine you have like a bucket and there's a bunch of holes in it and your customers just keep falling out and you're not even aware that that's happening. They're not calling you back. It's because you're not getting on the phone and calling them and say, hey, Mrs. Jones, the spring is rolling around. Let's sign up again. Let's do this again. Do you want your lawn cut? Do you want us to do your landscaping? The more you do that is the more you keep your hopper full. Don't ever let your customers, at least the ones that you like, slip out the back door or slip through the bucket. Customer retention is the most important thing. We do that through calling all of my favorite customers. I'll go to my office and I'll sit down and I'll just start dialing and calling and reaching out to them or texting them. Hey, Mrs. Jones, we did your project last year, just seeing if you want to get together again. I put a limiter in there. We're getting really, really busy, so I haven't heard from you. Do you want to do this again? And then, say 3 out of 5 will be like, depending on the customer, oh yeah, let's do that thing again. You're actually solving a problem for them. Because even if you did an amazing job for them, they're so busy, there's a chance that they don't even remember your name or the name of your business and they lost your business card. Now they're going on Google looking for somebody else. So if they go and they find somebody else and that person does a bad job, that's like your fault because you didn't follow up with that client and now they went with somebody else that didn't even do a good job. So you retain all your customers like that. Retarget your existing clients. Does anybody here do email marketing? Okay. MailChimp.com. This is all really, really easy stuff you could do yourself. The more complex stuff like the graphic design and the web design and all that, you want to hire virtual assistants for. You wrote down Fiverr.com, Upwork. MailChimp is like a gold mine to us. It's free. You can send 5,000 emails a month. We use MailChimp, GetResponse, Kajabi, but MailChimp's free. You can take all of your customers' email addresses, make sure you collect every single customer's email address, no matter what. So when I'm on the phone with customers and during the initial call, I'll go, okay, Mrs. Jones, okay, and your email address so we can send you confirmation, or your email address so I know where to send your quote. Got the email address. So we have 4,300 email addresses in the service business. Once you start getting these emails, even if you only have 15 of them, it doesn't matter. You upload them in a MailChimp and you send your customers an email blast saying, hey, the spring is rolling around. Let's get you on the schedule. Here's my name, my phone number, my business. Let's get you on the schedule. They get an email and maybe 10%, 20% of those customers within the first week will call you back. I've had customers 6 and 8 weeks later call me up and say they want to get on the schedule. I say, okay, great. How did you hear about our, what made you call again? Because their name pops up. Oh, we got your email. I'm like, that was like 8 weeks ago. So I'd go and sell them on a $2,500 property trim and putting mulch in off an email I sent 8 weeks ago. So all these different things are lead sources into your business. Okay, here's the most powerful thing that I've learned in 2019 that's just incredible. It's ringless voicemail. This is really easy. You can set it up in about 20 minutes, and this will be the most effective thing that you can do. There's different companies that offer this service. There's Send Jim. It's called Voicemail Bomb, or there's one called Sly Broadcast. Sly Broadcast, S-L-Y Broadcast. So for like $65, you can order 1,000 tokens for ringless voicemails. So, what was the first one? Send Jim. My friend Joshua Latimer owns this company called Send Jim. It's awesome. Like you could press a button and it sends postcards to a whole neighborhood. We send our customers gourmet brownies through this thing. It's like, it's amazing. And then also they have something called Voicemail Bomb. But basically what it is, you can go through your phone, you can download, there's apps now where you can extract the last 1,000 people who have called or you have called your phone. You extract all that data, you can scrub it all out, you put it on a spreadsheet, and then you can look at them or take your, some of this violates GDPR, so you shouldn't do it unless you have, sorry, I gotta watch what I say. Don't do any of that. Okay, so all of the customers that have given you their name and phone number, email address, and you've collected that data, go through that list, you upload it to a ringless voicemail software. This is how you become very hard to compete with amongst all the local. So I take out my phone, I take out the recorder app, and I say, "Hi, this is Keith with Kalfas Professional Services. The reason I'm calling you is the spring is rolling around, and I'm looking at our calendar. It shows that we've done some work for you in the past, and we got a couple of weeks here, and our schedule is filling up really fast. So I want to see if you want to go ahead and let's get you on the schedule again. And either way, my name is Keith Kalfas. Here's my phone number. Here's my email. I'm looking forward to hearing from you pretty quick here because we're getting our schedule packed up, and it's just a very genuine voicemail that was almost it's the same as if imagine you called your favorite customer, Mrs. Mary, who gives you cookies, and you left her a real voicemail. Now you take that, click, you upload, and this is retargeting your existing clients. You upload this into the ringless voicemail software. Say you got 1,000 of them. You press one button and it goes, it bypasses their phone, it doesn't ring, and it goes directly to their voicemail. And now all of your customers get oh my God, Joe's Landscaping left us a voicemail, honey. And they open it up and they're like, oh, it's Joe. Oh yeah, honey, we do need him to do that thing again, like the landscaping or whatever. And next thing you know, that's locked in their brain. If they don't call you right away, they might call you within a week because they got your voicemail. I'm going to warn you, if you have like 1,000 people, I did it for 700 people at once, and it was a nightmare because my phone was ringing off the hook, and I was in my truck having a panic attack. We have a calling center, a secretary, and me, and I couldn't even handle it, and customers were getting pissed off. So when you do this, you got to segment it into like groups of 50 or 100 and pump them out every few days and monitor your response rate. Is that funny? My friend Brandon Vaughn does this at his company. He's got he sold the company now, but he has like huge company. They're doing like 500,000 a month. So they do this to thousands and thousands of people, and he says he doesn't warn his, he has a whole office with staff and they're on the phone. He doesn't even warn them, he just does it and laughs, and next thing the phones are ringing out the hook and everybody's freaking out. But it's a very powerful tool, ringless voicemail. So taking advantage of all these things and implementing them in your business, these simple little things, positive 5-star reviews, ringless voicemail, email marketing, and then hiring virtual assistants to help you with your graphic design, to help you with your flyers, to help you do this so you can get a little marketing system together that now you know that you can make money at will. All you have to do is, put $1 in this thing on the top and $2 comes out of the bottom. It's something that you always have at your access. It becomes these powerful tools Just like mowers or dump trailers or trucks, your marketing is a huge tool, and it's the most important thing that makes you money. So any Q&A? Anybody have any questions?
Keith, we're going to do Q&A here in just a minute. Let's just do it then.
We'll do it a little bit later.
We're going to do it as a group. We're going to have
Oh, awesome. Okay, I'm almost done. I talked about all the 7 steps to marketing your business. I have a free PDF download if you want to look at it. It's a Google document. It'll be mailed to you right away. If you take out your phones, too, and easily. So that's the end of my talk. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.